The Losi Baja Rey versus the Traxxas Unlimited Desert Racer. I've had months of experience with both trucks. If you're on the fence trying to decide between the two, hopefully this video will help you choose the option that best fits your needs. Since I no longer own a Baja Rey, I wasn't able to get a true side-by-side size comparison of both trucks in the same shot. To give you a rough idea though, the Traxxas UDR is 694 millimeters long, 345 millimeters wide, and 261 millimeters tall, which most people consider around 1/7 or 1/8 scale. Now the Baja Rey on the other hand is 10th scale and noticeably smaller at 549 millimeters long, 320 millimeters wide, and 193 millimeters tall. With that said, comparing the UDR to the Baja Rey is kind of like comparing apples to oranges. Although the trucks have a similar look and design, the size of the truck makes a significant difference. But there aren't too many options when it comes to RC trophy trucks, so a lot of people end up having to decide between these two vehicles, and that's exactly what I had to do when I first purchased my Losi Baja Rey. Since the UDR is larger, it weighs around 13.4 pounds while the Baja Rey weighs in at only 6.1 pounds. To handle a larger and heavier truck, you obviously need stronger electronics, so the UDR is equipped with a 4 to 6S capable 8 scale motor and ESC combo. The Baja Rey comes with a standard 2 to 3S capable 1/10 scale motor and ESC. To power the electronics, the UDR requires 2 batteries and the Baja Rey requires just 1. The steering servo in the Baja Rey is apparently stronger with 201 ounce-inches of torque, while the UDR servo only has 125 ounce-inches. When it comes to the truck itself, the UDR has a 1-piece body that requires 12 screws to mount, and the Baja Rey has a 4-piece body that's held on with 22 screws. The 4-piece body is more realistic because it allows you to remove certain body panels like they do with the full-size trophy trucks, but I never really found myself taking advantage of that feature. The body panels for the Baja Rey are also not able to be purchased individually, so the body ends up not really being any cheaper, and you can't really benefit from the 4-piece design as much. The UDR comes with 2 spare tires and 8 shocks total, 4 of which are coilovers, while the Baja Rey only has 1 spare tire and 4 coilover shocks. Both trucks have light bars on the front and rear of the cab, but the UDR has 2 additional light bars mounted on the front grille of the truck. The UDR also has more scale details throughout the truck, like fire extinguishers, a functional spare rear drive shaft, and more realistic sway bars. Both vehicles also have scale plastic roll cages and detailed Lexan interiors, but the Losi is based on an aluminum chassis while the UDR has a plastic chassis. Both trucks have their own driving assistance feature as well to help the driver maintain control of the vehicle. Traxxas has their stability management, or TSM, and Losi uses AVC, which is an abbreviation for active vehicle control. Comparing the performance of the Losi Baja Rey and Traxxas UDR, I'd say the most notable difference is the UDR has a slightly better and more responsive suspension setup from my experience, and you're also able to break the tires loose and slide around on dry pavement. I think once again weight comes into play here, and since the UDR is heavier, it forces the suspension to work a little more and handle closer to full-size trophy trucks. I really was able to notice it when driving downstairs. The UDR just soaks it up, but it doesn't look as effortless for the Baja Rey. The tires on the Baja Rey are softer and get more traction compared to the tires on the UDR. When you pair that with the open diffs in the Baja Rey, the tires balloon quite a bit and hook up more on higher traction surfaces rather than just breaking loose like they do with the UDR. Both vehicles are capable of speeds up to 50 miles per hour, but I have to say that 50 miles per hour feels much faster with the Losi Baja Rey in my opinion, due to its size, lighter weight, and the fact that the tires balloon and cause you to lose some stability. I did notice that the motor in my Baja Rey seemed to heat up slightly quicker than the motor in my UDR. I would have to take breaks from bashing more often in order to keep the motor temps down. With both platforms, I noticed that you do have to stay on the throttle when you're driving at higher speeds over rough terrain in order to prevent the truck from nosing over and flipping end over end. Looking at durability, again, it's a little tricky to compare because of the different size and weight of both vehicles, but from my experience, I had fewer parts break on my Losi Baja Rey, so for that reason, it seems like the Baja Rey might be a little bit more durable, but it's kind of a close one. I think a lot of that has to deal with the smaller size and lighter weight of the Baja Rey. The truck just kind of bounces off stuff a little easier. Again, you do have to keep in mind when purchasing either of these vehicles that they're meant for scale driving, and if you do any hard bashing, you can expect to break more parts than usual. So it ultimately comes down to how much you're willing to spend. I mean, you get what you pay for in this situation. I initially went with the Losi Baja Rey because at the time it was half the price of the UDR when it was all said said and done. Since it was my first time getting a trophy truck, I wasn't sure if I would really like it or how much I would even end up using it, so I didn't feel like dropping just shy of $1,000 on a UDR and 2 batteries. As I started to enjoy the Baja Rey, I knew I wanted to keep a trophy truck in my lineup long term, so I bought a UDR and have been running that ever since. They both can be pretty challenging to work on, so I honestly wouldn't recommend either one as a first RC. They're both great options and work very well for scale driving. If you don't mind the price tag, want the most realistic look and experience, and you're planning to keep the vehicle long term, I'd say the UDR is a good investment. For those who are just wanting a simple trophy truck to have fun with and aren't concerned with the extra details, the Losi Baja Rey is an excellent option for the money and would probably be a better fit. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one.